Welcome to Violin Adventures number 172. We're going to jump right into the repairs for this week. Okay, we're going to start off with the decorated violin, get it finished up. We have so many exciting things this week. I'm excited to read to you another anecdote. We want to finish up the mandolin. Of course, we've got our cello in the back that we want to keep varnishing. But to get started, I'm going to take this down, take the strings off, and we're going to work on polishing the fingerboard and the neck. Okay, and while we're at it, I'm going to put some polish on the second tailpiece so that it will match the fingerboard. Okay, here's a mess. This is what it looks like when I get into a project and then get called away. So let's get back to business. Okay, it's starting to get cold outside. It's perfectly still, nothing going on. But it's getting colder and colder, and then I think a storm is coming. So that's why I put my jacket on. Now, we are in the midst of finishing up this violin. While our decorated antique violin is drying, we're going to work on our little mandolin here. And so I'm going to take off these old tuners. Okay, here's a chip out on the side. So I'm going to glue a little piece of really old cherry, probably similar in age, on here, and I'll show you after I get it fixed. There's the finished repair. Okay, I did lower the bridge just a little bit. Okay, you can feel it vibrating, that's good. Okay, we're ready to put our beautiful decorated antique violin in the case, ready to go home. It is a little wobbly, just from experience when I first started making instruments, and I made my first cello. No, actually it was not my first cello, maybe my second or third, and I was taking it to a competition, and so it was going to be shipped across the United States. And so I took it down to one of the packing companies, and I had them pack it for me. I explained how expensive it was and on, and they packed it for a really pretty price, and I got it, picked it up. On the other side, case had rubbed on the cello and just rubbed right through the varnish and a little bit into the wood. So I learned from then, I don't want to pay someone to pack it. I'm going to pack it myself, and I'm going to make sure that it's not moving. So just little tips for everyone when you're sending your instrument. Okay, also I have the extra set of pegs. I have the tail piece. I'm going to put them in the top pocket up here. In here is also the old fingerboard. I'll put them all here in the top so they don't rattle inside the case. I'm sending off the copy close as I can get of the writing inside the violin. So I'll put that in here. Also a little note. And we'll go get some padding. Okay, we'll pack this up and it will be back home to its owner. Okay, I have all my parts here. I actually spray painted them red and then gold on top of that because I didn't have any black. Probably black would have looked the best, but I didn't have any and I didn't want to go spend some more money. So I used what I had, and now I cleaned these up and gave them a sealer coat, and now I'm going to polish them with this lovely wax. Okay, here's our beautiful little paper towel holder. So I am going to put in the paper towel. So I assume I go like that and tear it out. Well, there it is. It does have two holes here so that I could hang it on a wall or set it on a table. So next job is to figure out where this is going. Here's the finished paper towel holder. Okay, we've got here our lovely mandolin, and my task today is to get the neck on, and so I'm going to go ahead and glue it. And I was checking it out, and if I get the neck at the right angle, then everything goes back nicely. That feels good to me, so we're going to let this dry. But while it's drying, I think I'm going to work on this little loose piece here before the battery runs out. This is coming together. I took off the old tuners and just cleaned them. They were really full of gunk and everything. Cleaned them, and now they're working fine. So I'm going to put these back on and see once this dries if we can set it up. We do have a problem with the fingerboard. It is warped. I'm going to see if we can still use it though. Alright, we're here working on this lovely mandolin. So the neck is in, and the fingerboard had quite a warp in it. Well, I was able to straighten it out most of the way, and so I'm going to be gluing that on. So while we wait for the glue to warm up, I'm going to read you a story out of our Anecdotes of Great Musicians. This is out of Anecdotes of Great Musicians, written in 1897. It's a beautiful old book. I'm going to read two short stories today. The first one is The Deaf Beethoven, and a lot of you may already know this, but I'll read it to you. Number 164. The deaf Beethoven and the blind Handel are pitiful pictures. For many years, Beethoven could hear no note of music, yet in this time he put forth some of his mightiest works. At the first performance of his immortal Ninth Symphony, Beethoven himself conducted, but he could not hear a single tone from the orchestra and chorus. When, at the close of the work, the audience loudly applauded, Beethoven was entirely oblivious of it until the lady who sang the alto solo part had turned him around facing the people so he could see the clapping of hands. It was a touching sight, and the people were deeply affected by the condition of this grand old man who had to see, instead of hear, the applause for his music. The next one I want to read to you is called French Wit. And we're going to take a pause right here, and I'm going to look up two words. The next story I want to read to you is about Grétry, a French opera composer. Now, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I tried to look it up and I could not find any pronunciation, but it's spelled Gretry. And if you know more about this fellow and you want to put it in the comments below, feel free. But the little I found about him, he liked to make comic operas. And so anyway, here's the story. Grétry, the French opera composer, was a man of considerable wit and enjoyed a good joke. He was able to take a hand in a bit of fun when occasion offered. At one time, when going on a trip through Switzerland, he met with a German baron who proposed that they should travel together. As soon as they had begun their journey, Grétry began a conversation with his lordship, saying, "Ah, sir, how enchanted I am with—" "Sir," interrupted the baron, "I never talk in a carriage." "Very well," said Grétry, and subsided into quiet. The baron had evidently considered that he had a garrulous traveling companion and that it was best to shut him up in the beginning of the journey. That night, when they had halted at an inn and had divested themselves of their dusty traveling robes and were comfortably settled before a roaring blaze, the baron turned to Grétry, saying, "Now, my dear sir, how glad I am that—" "Sir," said Grétry sharply, "I never talk in an inn." The nobleman saw the joke, and the two then entered into friendly conversation. The next day they were ascending Mount Cenis. Grétry espied a small cross stuck in the ground and inquired of the guides what it meant. He was answered sharply with one word, "Silence!" "How now," thought our Frenchmen, "are these some more German barons?" But he kept quiet until the end of their climb, when the guides told him that any conversation or noise might, by the vibration of the air, loosen some of the masses of snow and cause an avalanche. I thought that was a very interesting anecdote. Well, that's all for now. Until next time. Okay, our glue is hot. And I'm going to get ready to glue on this fingerboard. The nice thing is that we got the old tuners to work. It just needed some cleaning, and so I took the plate off, cleaned them all out, put them back, oiled them, and now we got some original tuners back on. Okay, here's our mandolin drying. Here's the cello. It's got its first coat of oil on it. Well, I'm already done the sides here. This is the color I want. I want to use this very wide brush, so I had to put my varnish into a pot like this so I could get the brush in it. And at this point, I'm pretty happy with the color. So I'm finishing up the sides, and then I'll show you, well, here you can see this. Okay, it's late Friday afternoon. It is raining and it is supposed to snow a little later tonight. So we'll see. Let's go in and where it's warm. Here we are in the shop where it's toasty warm, and let's look here first at our beautiful red cello. This is the color that I was aiming for, and I just varnished it, so it is very wet. Here our violin table is empty. Uh-oh. Well, the violin got sent off this week, so it'll be arriving home shortly. Over here, the professor is making his cello. He just got the lining in. And behold, here is our lovely mandolin. We'll just be doing a little bit more work on this, and then it'll be going home too. There sits our handy, beautiful old paper towel holder. The Hebrew Minute. Adonai yiten omer, ham basrot tzava rav. The Lord gave the word. Great was the company of those that published it. If you know where this is found, please leave it in the comments below. Freddie wants to chat.
Hi, I'm Freddie. And my friend Mr. Timothy Winters, sent me some pictures. He got some tools and he made stands for them, or holders for his tools. It's really nice. Thank you, Mr. Winters, for sending in your pictures. And to all my friends out there, bye!
Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all your comments. Thank you for the thumbs up. And thank you to the new subscribers. And until next time, bye!